Hello everyone, this is Group 1 and today we will discuss why expanding urban green spaces improves human health. So picture this, imagine stepping outside one day and instead of seeing the same old depressing city view, breathing in polluted air, and dealing with unbearably hot temperatures, you are instead greeted to trees and vegetation in every direction, clean air, more shade, and cooler temperatures. These are all things that could become a reality in cities across the country if green spaces are expanded. For many people living in these cities, these improvements would not only provide an aesthetically pleasing view, but it would also be very beneficial for their overall health. So, what are green spaces and why do they matter? Well, according to a blog by the Unity Environmental University, which was published on July 21st, 2025, green spaces are spaces within urban environments that are designed with the goal of incorporating vegetation and giving people in the community access to nature. The most common and well-known example of these spaces that already exist in most cities are parks, and one of the most famous examples of this is Central Park in New York City. Now, to answer the question, why do they matter? Well, according to that same article, these areas give local communities the perfect places to engage in physical activities. They also provide clean air, reduce heat, and they reduce stress. Research demonstrates that expanding urban green spaces improves public health by improving environmental conditions, supporting physical health, benefiting mental health, and creating healthier communities. Green spaces are essential to our communities. Not only that, but they provide important environmental benefits. To go further into detail, Rebecca will now discuss how these spaces can improve the environment.
Before we talk about how trees and vegetation improves our environment, I want to first start with why clean air matters. According to the World Health Organization, the main pathway for exposure from airborne pollutants is through our respiratory tract. Because we are constantly breathing in the air around us, maintaining cleaner air helps us to create healthier environmental conditions for our communities. Trees and vegetation work as natural filtration systems, helping to improve our air quality. As air pollutants move through the trees, some of the particles can become captured on the leaves, branches, and other exposed surfaces. At the same time, trees use photosynthesis to produce oxygen for us to breathe. Zhang and his colleagues in 2022 found that urban trees can help capture and retain fine particles from the air. This works almost like Velcro, with some of the fine particles sticking to the surface of the leaves and branches. This work shows us that trees can help reduce some of the pollution in urban environments. Trees and vegetation also help in reducing the urban heat island effect by lowering temperatures. They provide a cooling effect through evapotranspiration, which is how the plants sweat. They do this by releasing water through their leaves and it cools them. This process in turn helps cool the surrounding green space and make it more comfortable for people. Urban areas have a large amount of asphalt, concrete buildings, and other heat absorbing and holding surfaces. Trees can help counter this heat by providing shade and releasing water into the air through evapotranspiration. According to Knight in 2021, his team found that urban forests were on average 2.9 degrees cooler than their counterpart areas. This study also found that treed areas, parks, and even gardens were associated with human thermal comfort. This can be especially true in places such as Texas, where an almost 3-degree difference can provide a noticeable real feel difference. Together, cleaner air and cooler neighborhoods create healthier environments for the people who are in them. These environmental improvements also support physical health benefits, which Aaliyah will discuss next.
A quote I came across from the Sustainability Directory says, "Urban trees breathe life into city lungs, a vital exchange for future health." This truly depicts the impact of green space infrastructure on overall human health perfectly. Trees in urban areas are vital to the improvement of air quality in polluted areas, urban heat reduction, and quality of life for many. Two physical health benefits from green spaces include improved respiratory health and increased willingness to engage in physical outdoor activities. As previously stated earlier in the presentation, trees from the addition of urban green spaces improve air quality. That decrease in air pollution ultimately leads to improved respiratory health. Pollution essentially can increase asthma, respiratory infections, lung cancer, decrease overall lung function, and increase chances of mortality. Air quality is essential to breathing, a natural activity we partake in as humans. Your respiratory health encompasses the ability of your lungs, airways, and associated tissues to function efficiently and intake oxygen as well as dispose of carbon dioxide. It has long been studied, reported, and known that the reduction in air pollution is among the strongest pathways to directly support the improvement of respiratory health. Support for this is found in research by T. Show and colleagues who compiled many studies and reviewed them in their 2024 article, How Do Contextual Factors Mediate and Moderate the Association Between Green Infrastructure and Respiratory Health? A Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis. And they reported that vegetation reduces exposure to air pollutants such as particulate matter smaller than 2.5 and nitrogen dioxide, which are known contributors to respiratory morbidity. The encouragement of physical activity can also be attributed to green spaces because they decrease urban temperatures. It's no surprise, but here in Texas, many of us engage in heat avoidance. In their 2025 research article, The Role of Urban Green Spaces in Mitigating the Urban Heat Island Effect, a systematic review from the perspective of types and mechanisms, Lin and Lee stated, urban green spaces are essential for reducing heat islands in metropolitan areas, as well as noting that the addition of these green spaces enhance thermal comfort. Thermal comfort being temperatures that people are satisfied with and can tolerate when they go outside. People are more inclined to engage in outdoor activities when they can avoid extreme heat exposure. Research done by Breyer and colleagues in their scientific article, Green Space Moderates Heat Avoidance in Physical Activity During Extreme Heat, Evidence from Strava Data in Houston, Texas, shows that cyclists and joggers set their routes intentionally to be through greener spaces when temperatures are high. The study area only consisted of 6.9% green space, but the activity within showed 37% of daily activity took place there. This supports that people don't mind going outdoors to exercise when cooler and greener areas are present. Green spaces in cities allow people to continue moving during times of extreme heat. The ability to go out at any time, regardless of heat, and run or do yoga because of green spaces also benefits overall mental health. This is something that Harley will discuss more of.
We have already talked about how green spaces can improve the environment and support our physical health, but the benefits do not stop there. Green spaces can also affect how people feel mentally and how connected they feel to the people around them. Having places to relax, get outside, and spend time with others can make a real difference in everyday life. Green spaces do more than just give us something besides concrete and buildings to look at all day. Trees and plants can make outdoor areas feel more comfortable, especially in cities where pavement and buildings hold on to heat. According to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency in 2025, trees and vegetation can help cool urban areas and provide shade. When parks, trails, and other outdoor spaces are cooler, people may actually be more willing to use them. Here in Texas, most of us know how easy it is to avoid going outside when it feels way too hot. A shaded walking trail or park is a lot more inviting than walking or exercising on hot concrete with the sun beating down on you. Making outdoor spaces more comfortable can also support our physical health because it gives us more chances to walk, exercise, play with our kids, or just spend some time outside. So adding trees and other green spaces does not only make a city look better, but it can make outdoor areas easier and more enjoyable to actually use. According to the World Health Organization in 2021, green spaces have a positive connection with mental health. Having a park, trail, or other outdoor space nearby can give people somewhere to relax, clear their head, and take a break from the traffic, noise, and everyday stress that can come with living in a city. Of course, going to a park is not going to fix every mental health problem, but it can give people a healthy place to get outside and have a change of scenery. Green spaces can also help people feel more connected to the people around them. Parks, walking trails, playgrounds, splash pads, and other outdoor spaces give families and neighbors places to spend time together. People can walk, exercise, let their kids play, sit and talk, or just enjoy being outside instead of everyone playing inside in their own homes. This is especially important in cities because people can live very close to each other and barely know their neighbors' names. Having places where people can actually spend time together can help make a community feel less separated. So, green spaces are not just about making a city look nicer, but they can also help people feel better mentally and when give communities more chances to connect. When we put all these benefits together, it becomes pretty clear that green spaces can affect much more than just how a city looks. Research shows that expanding urban green spaces can improve public health in several different ways. Trees and vegetation can help improve air quality and lower temperatures. Greener spaces can encourage people to be more active outside, and having access to nature can support mental health while also giving people places to connect with others. That brings us back to our main point. Expanding urban green spaces can help create healthier environments and healthier communities. Most of us have used a park, walking trail, or playground, or even just enjoyed sitting somewhere outside in the shade. These spaces may seem simple, but the research shows they can actually make a difference in the health of people who live around them. Green spaces are not just there to make the cities look nicer, but they can help make cities healthier places for all of us to live. So the next time you walk through a park or take a stroll on a trail, remember that these spaces are doing much more than making our communities look better.